So January 1st, over 750,000 songs from independent artists solely. I think the first day it happened, it was like over 20,000 independent artists affected.
Holy cow.
Catalog,
I have no idea.
gone. Catalog, gone. From Spotify.
You don't know where I've been. You don't know the pain I done been through. Walk around inside my skin and watch a lot of judgment they can show you.
Welcome to the Musician Secrets podcast. Today I have singer-songwriter Elijah Rosario with me. Welcome.
Hey. Thank you so much for having me. Really glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited because this is definitely a genre that I didn't really listen to that much until I listened to your songs, and I'm like, oh, this is different. And so I'm like, you know what, I have to get him on here and talk about your music and stuff. So yeah, thank you for being here.
Oh, seriously, thank you. Wow, that's one hell of a compliment. To bring a genre, you listen to one artist and then say, I want to dive into it more. That's awesome. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I appreciate good music when I hear it. So yeah, thank you for putting it out. For people that don't know who you are, just introduce yourself. What got you into music? Where are you from? And yeah.
Yeah, so as you said, my name is Elijah Rosario. I am a 26-year-old singer-songwriter based out of Raleigh, North Carolina, here in the United States. I've been doing music for the past 10 years on and off. Wasn't really too sure about it back in 2010 when I recorded my first record. And then as time went on, I just could never pull away from music. Every time I got around other artists or other poets, whoever, I just couldn't fight it. And I was always writing. I started off writing poetry. Then I started off writing little hooks, little 2-minute songs. And I just said, okay, I think I want to be a writer. And I just fell in love with that process. And around 2017, when I was in Houston, Texas, I just got a chance to really be around the sound that was super vibrant, very different, so many different blends of cultures, blends of sounds. I was like, I want to take everything I've heard and listened here and develop myself with everything I've learned here. So instantly when I moved to Charlotte in 2018, I started recording again. I got more into writing, became more consistent with it. And since 2018 or 2019, I dropped my first EP, Unorthodox Being, and I haven't stopped since. So here I am today, still going in 2021.
That's cool. I love that you didn't stop, because I love it.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough sometimes, when you're unsure. It's tough to convince yourself that, oh, I need to get to the studio today, or I need to finish this song. I've just developed that itch in the past 2 years. I wasn't so sold on it, but then I said, you know what? Nope, this is what I want to do. This is exactly where I belong. This feels natural. It's a God-given talent. I just need to continue to perfect the craft. So that's all I've been doing lately.
That's cool. What flipped that switch? What made you go, okay, all in?
Well, at first, I got the inkling when I finally released some new music in 2019 on my EP. I made an 11-minute EP. It was 4 songs, and I gave it to. I let some friends at my workplace here. I was working at a digital marketing agency at the time. I let a couple of friends hear it, and there was this one record called Focus Poppin'. It's track 3 on that project, and they was like, what is this? I love this record. This is crazy. This is different. You got a different sound, and we don't have anything like this in Charlotte. And I was like, oh, that's what's up. And when I noticed everybody else around the workplace was like, yo, I heard your song. I heard your music. Why is this EP so damn short? I want more. And I was just like, well, you just can't beat around the bush with it now. And so I took the time to just start making some more music. And just what really flipped that switch permanently was unfortunate passing of my mother last year, Christmas Day. And that's what made me title the EP Hattie's Boy. So just wanted to let people know, give them a taste of who I am as a person, my perspectives, my beliefs, how I view romance and love,
Mhm.
and just letting them know like I'm here to solidify myself in this business. So that's what permanently did it for me. Just rest in peace, my mom. But it just made me realize I want to live my life doing the things I truly am passionate about, and this is something I'm truly passionate about.
Yeah. Well, life is too short, right? That's.
Yeah, it's too short, man. It's too short. That's why I try to choose to just continue to do things that make me happy. If I can't be happy all the time, but if I'm at peace all the time, I say that's a good life, and that's what I choose: peace, and then happiness is kind of second, but peace is the first thing. So as long as I got that, I'm good.
Yeah.
Good.
It's a
Life
good
is good.
mindset to have. Yeah.
Life is good if I got peace.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting because the more musicians I talk to, they all kind of have, sometimes, I mean, most of them, they have like that dramatic, wake up call almost, where I think we kind of like put it on the back burner, or it's more of a hobby or something that we do every once in a while. But once we have like these really dramatic, unfortunate dramatic things happen, it somehow flips that switch where we're like, you know what, okay, no more dabbling and whatnot, like full out. So it's kind of taking that lemon and turning it into lemonade.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That is the biggest thing, and that's not just with with music. It's like that about anything in life. I've learned if you're not 100% involved, then you'll never get the fullness of what you're truly chasing. So that's something my father would always tell me, like growing up. It's like you got to be down, like you got to be down, like, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm just down with this stuff. Like I'm down with it.
Wow, really wise words. That's good advice.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a character, that guy.
Oh, cool. What's your favorite part about songwriting?
For me, it's the discovery of wordplay and manipulation. You could be writing one line and then just say, nah, back it up really quick. Just, I do a lot of stuff on my phone, so I'm always in my notepad, and I'm like, backspace. I want to say it like this. It's like coming up with the perfect email.
Yeah.
That's how I would describe it, right?
That's a cool analogy. Never thought about it that way, but that's really good.
That's really how I view it. So I was like, I want to sell you on who I am. And for the first person I have to sell is myself. If I don't feel confident, I'm like, yeah, this might not go. It's not about finding the hit. It's just simply about, is this going to be good when I lay it down? Is this me? Do I mean everything I'm saying here? So I gotta sell myself on that first. And once I do, I'm like, all right, press in. Like let's go to the studio. Let's do this. Let's lay it down.
Wow. Okay, mind blown for a second. Wow, that's a cool. That's because you are very honest in your lyrics, and I think that's kind of what drew me into that, because they feel very honest, and I don't know, I can't describe it, but when I listen to your songs, it just really feels like it's you and it's authentic, and you mean every word you're saying. It's not just like something you just lay down, so it's like a hot beat and then you just kind of take it from there. So I appreciate artists that do that, because I think at least that it's really rare. It's not as common.
That's true. I was in a chat room last night, and we were listening to some music, and this one artist, like, he put in his line, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take you, put your bags down and hop in my Benz. And one of the curators said, are you really gonna do that? That's it. And I said, wow, I was like, that's an honest question. I was like, I kind of want to know, does he have the money to put her in a Benz? Like, is he putting her in his Benz? Does he have a Benz? Is it a Volkswagen? That looks like a Benz. I don't know. Like, so I said, wow, it does count when you're honest. It's like honesty, transparency will always win when it's crafted properly. So yeah, that's a big part about it.
Is it hard sometimes to like be honest? Is there sometimes you'll be like, oh, is this too much? Is that you know, is because, I mean, everyone's going to hear it. So is there sometimes fear that kind of creeps up every now and again, where you're like, okay, like I'm really opening up, like, is this going to go right? Is there any, you know?
Yeah, some stuff you got to truly process, and that could take, you know, weeks, that could take months, that could take years. You know, it's all about you as an individual. So things that, you know, that have happened to me or happened for me, you know, I'm not always quick to just say, let's go write it down, because I just went through an experience, you know. I need to let it really settle, and not just settle in my spirit, but let my mind really like cross-examine everything that happened in that aspect, right? And then I go back and say, all right, now let's talk to the people about it. But one thing I do when I sit down, before I sit down and write anything, I take these walks every day, about 3 miles a day, and I freestyle the entire time. I'm just playing beats. I'm just going through beats and freestyling the entire time so I can get all the bullshit out of my mind. So when I sit down and do something, it's a clear conscience. I'm actually in a groove, and I can write it just freely and bring some structure.
Wow. That's so explain your writing process then. Is it so every time you like go for a walk and then you kind of just sit down and do you like freestyle the entire thing and then like record it and see what happens from there, or how does it work?
Nah, so like I said, I go on my walks and I freestyle. I find beats that I truly like, and then I'll sit on one beat, and I'll say, okay, I'm just gonna say everything that comes to mind while I'm on this walk. So I'll sing it this way, sing it that way, say this words, just BS it. Sometimes, and I do this in my car too, sometimes I land on a lyric and I'd be like, I like that, I'll keep that, and I'll write that down. And then from there I can sit down and structure out a song with it and, you know, really come up with something. And then there's just times where I've gotten all the crap out of my brain, I've let everything process, and now I can just sit down, clean slate, look for some beats, and I'll sit for hours on my balcony and just write. And I just start slowly doing it. You know, I don't rush anything. If I have had moments where I got through like 3 songs in one day. And but for the most part, it's a slow burn for me. I feel like that's how you get the most out of it. That's how you're able to truly like see melodies or hear melodies. I don't know how to read music. That's a funny thing. I don't know how to read the stuff. I just have ears. I grew up in church listening all the time. So I grew up around a lot of musicians. So if my ears don't hear it, I ain't doing it. You know, bottom line, like I ain't doing it. I tell people that, I tell producers that, in all honesty, they'll be like, yo, my ears don't hear me on it, or hear somebody else that I know would be dope for it and I could help them write to it, I ain't doing it. But that's my process. I literally just sit down for hours and I just slow burn. It's a slow burn for me. And I don't always try to get everything done in one day. I however long it takes to get a good song. Like, I'm not looking for a hit. To me, it's just about good music. It's just simply about good music. If it's good, it'll stay around. Yeah. If it's great, it'll feed your family for the rest of your life. That's just how it goes. But I want to be able to have a catalog that sticks around for people and really, like you said, makes you feel like it's true, it's honest, and you're getting to know me at the end of the day.
Very true. I love your song Survive. Walk me through the process. I mean, obviously it probably was very similar to what you just said, but how did you come up with the lyrics? Because I mean, those are really like honest, direct words in there.
Yeah. So Survive was sparked, you know, with an emotion. So I'll walk it back a little bit. So that, first of all, I want to shout out the 2 producers that created that beat. You know, that boy Mark and my guy Exotic. Mark and Exotic are 2 incredible local Raleigh producers. They're amazing. That was my first time meeting Exotic. He was like, bro, hear this beat. And he said, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna see what you can do. And at first I had a whole different direction for that beat. Like, I was like about to like come on some like smooth, like serenading vibes. Yeah. But it was unfortunately for the Ahmaud Arbery, you know, he got murdered, you know, in a town that was about 30 minutes from where I grew up. So it hit home for me.
Wow. Okay.
You know, he got killed in Brunswick, Georgia, and that was only about like 30, 40 minutes from where I was growing up, you know, as a kid. So it just hit for me, and I've never like known anything like that to happen in a place that hit so close. I'm like, dang, my family's still there, you know? So it put me in this mode, and I was listening to the beat, and my whole direction just shifted. And I was just like, you don't know where I've been. And I was just like, okay, yeah. And I just kept going. And I was actually on my walk, and I was just typing out the hook as I was going. And then I was singing it all day, and I got into the shower, and I was like, okay, I want to say this. And then when I finally sat down, I knew the subject in hand. I just went. I just said, okay, this is what I want to say. I'm going to do it just like this. And I got in the studio with Exotic. He produced me on how to say certain things. I'm talking back to him on how to say certain things. And that's how we came up with that record. It was a hell of a day. We were in that studio crafting up that record. So shout out to them for being by my side and really, you know, sticking it out with me and letting me be on that beat. That was amazing.
I love, you know, it's really cool that you're actually touching on that, you know, topic, because, you know, I think there should be more, you know, sometimes I don't really know how to say this, but I love it when people speak out. And I have a friend of mine that also was, you know, was affected by it even, and she also brought out, you know, a song about it, and she like teamed up with other producers and stuff like that. So I think it's very important to speak up when something's bothering you or when something's not right, and I think music has the power to do that.
I agree 100%. Like, and that's something for me. Like, I know that when I'm in an emotional state, I'm not the best speaker, so I was not about to go on a rant because I would look crazy. I would look ridiculous, right? I would look crazy. But I said, you know, while I'm in this space, let me still contribute to the voice of the people that's on the front lines. Let me contribute to the people who's donating, you know, and posting on social media. I wanted to contribute, and the best way I knew how to do so was just with a gift I was given. And that record to me is something, it's one of my favorites. It's something I want to last. I want it to be a staple. So thank you for taking the time to listen to it. I hope it continues to resonate with other people as they listen to it in years on.
Yeah. How many times did you rewrite the lyrics for that?
Like I said, I had a whole different perspective beforehand, before that came about. Like I said, I was like, okay, it's got this Afro beats feel. I'm like, I'm gonna write about, you know, something smooth and sweet and serenade. And then I was like, I think I need to be more serious. Like, and it just felt better. It felt better because I was forcing myself to try to write a love song to that beat. Forcing myself. And I was just like, but when I got those lyrics down pat with Survive, I was like, this feels good. This I'm sold. I read everything and I said, oh shit. I was like, that's what, let's put that out now.
Yeah. It felt more authentic, I think.
Yeah.
That's the song I probably connected the most with, is because it was just like so upfront and honest about a serious topic. I mean, that's obviously, you know, still an issue. And I'm just like, you know what, this is someone I want to follow. This is someone I want to listen to. This is someone I want to stand behind and, you know, and back up as well. Like, it's not an easy thing to do, I think. At least for me, it's always harder.
It can be. I will say that it can be because because, you know, we're in such a political time, you know, and everything is like, you got to be politically correct about everything. And, you know, artists sometimes don't get the right nowadays to just be artists and just, you know, create how to express themselves. We got to be so strategic. So when you are talking about a topic as such, you do want to be careful. And that's something I knew. I was like, well, when people hear this, there are going to be people who look like me, and then there are going to be people who don't look like me listen to this record. And I just got to be honest. I was like, if I'm honest, but also respectfully honest, I was like, I think that this won't be offensive and it won't make you feel uncomfortable.
Exactly.
You'll be like, nah, I feel that. Like, that's real. Like, yeah, that needed to be said. Yeah. So that was another approach I had to take when coming up with words to speak on that topic.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think you nailed the entire lyric thing, because I mean, for me, like, if you want to see it as in race and color, you know, me listening to it as a white person, I did not feel offended or like, you know, it's not like you're using names or you're cursing all the time. You're just like, oh, everything is like bad and not. Like, I actually like connected to it. I thought you got that perfectly. You nailed that line, because that's a very fine line to walk on, and I think you did an amazing job.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So what's the process when you go into like the studio? How do you prepare when you know, you're like, okay, now I got my song, got the beat, I got everything ready, now you're about to go in the studio? How do you prepare and what do you do?
I rehearse things at least about 50 to 100 times before I step into a studio. Yeah. Because time is money.
Exactly. In the studio, it is for sure.
Yeah, it's, you know, time is money, and you know, I don't record myself. I don't record at home. I don't have a home studio. So I know when I'm, you know, investing that time and my money, I have to be sharp. So my process when I'm in the studio, I'm with my engineer, and I'm like, hey, let's go. Yeah. I'm like, I don't think I come up to even breathe sometimes to like really rock it out in the studio. Like, I honestly wait until the song is done, and then I'm like, all right, let me come out here and let's go over the record and see what needs to be done, what needs to be taken out. And I prefer it that way. I prefer to work. I prefer to work it all out. You know, I like to catch things in the moment and just say, okay, I got to correct that. And I do everything step by step. I try not to skip or cut no corners. I've done those things before. I've made those mistakes and thinking, nobody will catch it.
Yeah.
Little do you know, when that record's out, they caught it. And so I'm very careful. I'm very careful about every single detail, how I enunciate, the way I describe emotion and deliver that, right? That's so important. Delivery is what it's all about. So I don't try to go in the studio and be lazy with it. I don't just like, all right, let me say these words just like I rehearsed it. It's like, nah, because you're still in the moment. You still got to sell the record. So that's what it is for me, is feel every emotion and make sure that the audience can connect with it. That's my steps in the studio.
Wow, that's, I mean, and that's, I think the best thing is like to be prepared. I think
yes,
like, the amounts of time where, you know, where they're like, oh, I don't know what I want to do, or I don't know what I should play, and I'm like, what? Like, have you not like thought about that before you went to the studio? Like, I don't know, like we had to do like guitar parts, and I had to lay down some guitar parts, and like I got somewhat of like something to play, but it was just like, yeah, whatever you feel like. I'm like, alrighty, but anyway, that's very vague. I mean, it's your money, so.
Right, you know, and you gotta be really careful with that. As an art, especially as an independent, or just honestly as an artist in general, like, you know, but I'll stay in the independent lane. One thing I've learned is people are never gonna take you serious in the studio if you don't even look like someone worth being taken seriously. So that means coming in prepared, like show up to the studio early. Don't show up late for a session. That engineer is clocking you. It's like, listen, as soon as the time, 4 o'clock is when you said it. All right, 4 o'clock is when I start billing. Like, you know.
They don't care if you're there or not.
Yeah, like, don't be late. If you need coffee, show up 30 minutes early. Like, you know, and just understand, like, you're there to have fun, but you're also there to put in work. Like, this is something that you're supposed to take serious if this is what you want to do. So yeah, it's preparation is the most important component when you're about to lay down a record. And no, The song won't be done in the first take. Like it won't be done. You know what I mean? It's not. It's not. You're gonna have to come back to the studio, and you're gonna have to be like, all right, let me hear that again. Let's. What did I miss? And then you go back and record some more. Like that happens, and it's okay, because you should never leave the song until you know it's finished.
Yeah.
That's
when do you hit that? When do you hit that point? When do you know a song is done? Like.
It's really like no technical aspect to it. It's just really a feeling. I heard, I can't remember what artist I heard say this, but I think it was Lil Wayne or somebody was like, if I can't play me and like me, then I know nobody else will. It was something along those lines. And so, and I remember there were times when I used to make music, coming up, I did not like my music like that. Like I would be trembling and shaking to play. Like when somebody said, I want to play this song by Elijah, I'd be like, I don't know. But now, even a rough mix, like something that's not done, if you ask me what I'm working on, I'm like, bet, press play.
Yeah.
Like, I'm confident. And so that's how I really know.
Yeah.
It's that feeling. Oh, fun fact. So for some weird reason, like Spotify did like a sweep where they've like deleted like over 750,000 songs. And so my project got deleted off of Spotify.
Because this is so funny, because I've been looking for your stuff and I'm like, where is it?
Yeah. So I'm working on getting that back up. I actually, because I'm with DistroKid. So DistroKid is actually like talking with, them to say like, hey, this artist, hasn't done anything to violate. So we need to get them, because they deleted so many and it's all independent artists. This isn't no mainstreams. These are all independent.
Of course not, yeah.
Because third-party playlisting, right? They are starting to crack down on third-party playlists. So let's say, for example, if you have a playlist and you got like 11,000 followers on that playlist, if it's all independent tracks, Spotify's gonna look at it like fake playlist, taking it. Yep.
No way.
They've been doing that a lot. Yeah, they've been doing that to a lot of independent musicians. It has a lot to do with like this new update. Apparently, there's some new rollout that they're about to have with their ad studio. So they're coming up with a software, an AI and like an AI system integrated into their ad studio that tells you as the artist what type of music the fans that you're trying to target likes. So that way you can replicate it after a particular artist that you are found similar to. Yeah.
Whoa.
But their ad studio, the minimum price is $250. So that's the minimum cost to run ads in their ad studio. So basically, instead of you paying these third-party playlisters, $50, $100, whatever, I think they're trying to crack down and remove all of those, so that way they can get the revenue directly to their platform. And if you think about it, like thanks to third-party playlists, independent artists, especially during this quarantine, have had the benefit of doubt to kind of level the playing field.
Exactly.
And, major labels, they're not okay with that.
Yeah, exactly.
If you level the playing field, then now what the hell do I need a label for?
Exactly. That's what we just talked about, right?
Right. So yeah, and we all know, if you pay attention to the music business, the labels like Universal, Warner, Sony, they are in bed with Spotify. They're in bed with Apple Music. They're in bed with these people. They have stock. They have money. It's because of the labels why a Spotify exists. If it's because of the labels why DSPs exist entirely, except for Apple Music. Apple could stand out on its own no matter what, because they have products. Like they have I have a MacBook. I have an iPhone. They make, that's where their money is. Yeah. So the music, the streaming, it's just the cream of the crop. Yeah. And that's why they charge for it. But Spotify, it's free to sign up. It's free to subscribe. If Spotify doesn't abide by the labels, they lose music, which in return, they lose subscribers, which in return, they lose money. So they gotta please the people that they are in bed with, which is the label. If the label says, hey man, shit's getting crazy with these independent artists. Like, you mean to tell me they can get 300,000 streams without us?
Exactly. Yeah.
How? Third-party playlists, easy. You know, instead of creating a system to just, if there are, like, obviously there are bot run playlists, so just filter out all the playlists that don't fit within your guidelines and allow the other third-party playlists, the other independent playlisters, to still have their curated playlists on your platform.
Exactly.
And let the artists, you know, pay to be put on their playlist or get put on their playlist for free, whatever. Like, let that go, you know. But they won't do that. They rather just, it's easier to wipe the artist out, have the artist, you know, bitch and moan and complain about things, you know.
Because that was the funniest thing, because I was looking for, you know, the EP, like Hottie's Boy, right?
Yep.
That was gone. I couldn't find that on Spotify at all. And then Still, I think that's how I found you.
Yeah, that was on Hottie's Boy.
Where's all the music? Like, am I just being stupid and I can't just find it, or like all the music I was trying to find, it was gone. So I'm like, well, talk about the music that is here right now. So.
It blew me, man. It blew me.
Oh my gosh.
Working on getting that all sorted out. Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's everywhere else still. Okay. Like it's everywhere else. Just Spotify was the only DSP but it's all because of that little like cleanse / update they did, and they literally did it on New Year's Day. So January 1st, over 750,000 songs from independent artists solely. I think the first day it happened, it was like over 20,000 independent artists affected.
Holy cow.
Catalog,
I have no idea.
Gone. Catalog, gone. From Spotify.
That's crazy.
Crazy, man. It's
okay. So because I was like looking it up and like, I don't know, it's I can't find it. But it's on iTunes.
Yep, it's everywhere. It's everywhere else. Like I said, I'm currently.
That's crazy.
DistroKid is talking it out with Spotify to get my music reinstated on the platform. If they don't pull through soon enough, I'll basically have to withdraw the entire release from all stores and then re-release it again to all stores, and then Spotify let it go. Yeah, so basically
so all the streams, everything is like gone, right? That you've been.
Here's the great thing. Actually, I found this out. If you withdraw the project through a distributor and then re-release it through another distributor, that distributor that you withdrew the project from or any song from to put on another distributor's platform, to put through another distributor, you still get paid out from the DSP through the distributor that you had your music on previously. So like DistroKid still has to pay me for all of the streams that Hottie's Boy did on all DSPs and all on Spotify. It's just that now from January on, I won't be seeing any more money from Spotify, at least until, you know, it gets reinstated. So, or I just re-upload it, and, you know, and I honestly don't want to go through that headache, because it's like, okay, I take this project off from all stores and I got to wait another week or two to get it put on all stores again. I'm like, that's stupid. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So yeah, it's just slippery slope, but honestly, I'm probably going to just do it once this collab album comes out, because I'm like, oh, new music is there, so it's kind of like, you can get away with it, you know. I could get away with it then, but with no new music out right now, I'm not pulling that stunt, because that's going to be bad.
Oh my gosh, that's a nightmare.
Okay. It is, man. It's a true nightmare. It's annoying, most importantly. Like, I don't care about uploading music. I care about the people who want to find my music. And I know Spotify, because It is a free platform, and I know because a lot of people like go on Spotify playlists before they go on Apple Music playlists. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks when people actually like something that they heard before and say, "Oh, I want to show you this guy."
Yeah.
Where the hell is this guy's music?
Like that, literally, that happened. I was like, "Oh, let's like pull up his music," and I'm just like, I can't find it. It's like it's gone. Like I was like, because I had iTunes before, and then I switched to Spotify solely for the reason that because they're usually more friendly when it comes to independent artists. So like if Apple has, you know, artists that sound like what you're listening to, they're all like, it'll come like Ed Sheeran, Dua Lipa, Taylor Swift, and like I already know these people. I want like fresh new music. And that's why I switched to Spotify, because that's where they're just more independent friendly. So I thought
that's why people wanted their music on Spotify in the first place.
Exactly.
That's how Spotify got all these artists. I didn't know this, but when Spotify first came to life, I did not know how many mainstream artists did not want their catalog on Spotify. I didn't know. I did not know. I did not know because Spotify apparently like wasn't really as trustworthy to the labels. You know, that relationship wasn't really there.
Yeah.
But you know, now it is, and Spotify's bought up all of these different small tech companies and integrated them into their platform. And now labels are like, so now we can work this like this. Same thing with TikTok. Like TikTok is in bed with the labels. Like TikTok has this new update where certain mainstream artists will have the privilege to have their albums or singles released earlier than the release date so that fans can enjoy it on TikTok. And I said, what do you know? What is the world coming to?
Yeah.
Right? Independents don't get in on that though. We don't get that, but that the main label does, and that's okay. But Spotify, all people, I was really hoping.
Yeah, exactly.
No bullshit would be full with you guys, but yeah, I guess the mainstream is who they really starting to really look out for now, I guess.
Oh yeah. Well, again, they have more money to pay them off and all that. So, holy moly.
I'm so sorry that this interview ended so abruptly. That was absolutely my fault. I somehow stopped recording and then kind of started recording again. So I'm sorry. There were like another 20 minutes or so of us talking about, you know, a little bit about the music industry and stuff like that. So I apologize. That is absolutely my fault. That's never happened to me before, but you know, there's always a first. But anyways, go and follow Elijah. He's amazing and he knows what he's doing. So you can find him on Instagram as I am Essex. I'll link everything up below so you can find him with no problems. And then obviously on Spotify and iTunes, which we're you know, big fans of if you've listened all the way to the end. Then he's just Elijah Rosario on all the platforms. So yeah, go check him out. He's awesome. And I'll link everything up so you'll find him everywhere you can. Awesome. Okay. Sorry again. Talk to you soon. Thank you for listening to the Musician's Secrets podcast. I'm your host, Alise Koa. I hope you got to learn something new about producing or songwriting or mental health when it comes to making music, the fears that most musicians have when making music. So everything that's behind the scenes, behind making music, you will learn it here because I am basically talking to anyone that makes music all around the world. So I have a great privilege to learn all of that and I can't wait to share it with you all. So follow this podcast if you enjoyed what you heard today and go and share it with somebody that you think could enjoy this episode as well, benefit and learn from it. And as always, there's more information at alisekoa.com/podcast. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Ain't no replacing you. You my best friend, girl, you my best friend. Dug into the end, girl, we dug into the end. Tell me what's a king without his queen?